Granddaddy, can I have a gun? I'm Wayne LaPierre. I'm just a regular, hard-working American who's trying to support his family. I'm also the head executive of the NRA. When I think about guns, I think about a lot of things. I think about courage, bravery, patriotism, tradition, honor. I think about safety. I think about entertainment. I think about food. I think of all the things that make this great country what it is. In fact, my very own grandson's 8 years old, and I love him very much. He's in the public school system right now, and I fear for his life. It's a bad situation. Politicians pass laws for gun-free school zones. They issue press releases bragging about them. They post signs advertising, and in doing so, they tell every insane killer in America that schools are the safest place to inflict maximum mayhem with minimum risk. Even outside of public schools, every single American is at risk. That's because terrorist organizations, Latin American drug gangs have infiltrated every single major city in America. Phoenix is already one of the leading capitals of kidnapping in the world. Today, the Mexican border remains porous not only to people seeking our jobs in the U.S., but to criminals whose jobs are robbery, rape, crime, and kidnapping. As if that weren't enough, the border's also open to Al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations. But enough of this sad talk of terrorists and Latin American people. I think one of the most important things for me as a child growing up in this country was to bond with guns with my parents. My grandfather gave me his gun when I was a boy. My father taught me how to use it. I believe it's taught me everything I know, and I don't think I would even know my parents if it weren't for guns. I look forward to the day when I can give my grandchild his own gun. We can go hunting, maybe shoot some people, do all the things that make Americans Americans. To me, the most important thing about guns is bonding with your family. And that's why I support guns. In this scene, who would you want to be?
Well, mister, I think that question entirely depends on the nationality of the nice man in the black coat, because I seem to identify with him in most of his aspects, but if he's not American, then I think nothing of him. There ain't nothing like the smell of freedom in the morning these days.
Why do you feel the need to own a gun?
Let me tell you a story, son. Now, these here lands came from my granddaddy, and before them his granddaddy, and before them his granddaddy. And I know that if I were not here to guard these lands with my guns, my rifles, I know that the government would take them from me just as surely as they come to my house, tell me to take their health care, their Obamacare. Oh, I told them, get some gun care. That is the kind of American care that we need in this country. That's what I said. That is why I need these guns, you see.
Some people in this great country don't think we need guns. What do you think the average gun control advocate's like?
It is a sorry tale of a man who for thousands of years has not felt the majesty of the hunting and the fishing as our ancestors did back in their day. And I know one thing for sure, that those who don't like them guns, they ain't never tasted the spirit of freedom. Citizens arrest! That's what I think of the government.
Why do you feel like you need to own a gun?
Why not?
Okay, how many guns do you own?
Well, I left a few at home, but right now I just have a few on me. People always ask me how I have so many, but I just buy one for each of the little voices in my head.
Dermatologist, of course. The Latin derivation. Quid, Domine? Why do you stand so far off, O Lord, and hide yourself in time of trouble?
Why do you feel the need to own a gun?
Well, you see, actually, I don't believe in guns. I think that they need to be restricted and kept away from the dangerous people. I feel like guns can be really dangerous in the wrong hands.
So you're pro-gun control?
I would say I am, yes.
Restricted? I'm sorry, I thought this was America!
Why do you feel the need to own a gun?
Well, where I live, there are many types of people and creatures that would wish to do me harm, such as robbers and bears and foxes, cats and cows, food with spicy toppings and mice and poison rats, gay folks and strangers, and Obamacares, and artists, and people who I don't know, flowers with thorns.
Granny Petunia,
Yes?
what do you think of the idea of putting armed men in schools to protect the children?
Well, as my good friend and trusted advisor, Wayne LaPierre, always says, the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. So, of course, I think it's a fantastic idea to put armed men in schools. In fact, I would like an armed man in my own house, or an armed woman, because I'm a very progressive individual.
When was the last time you had to use your gun?
Well, I was sitting down to a delicious plate of biscuits and wheat with a few egg whites on top, and my little dog, Fanny, began to nibble at the corner of it. And I screamed, "My late husband, may he rest in peace, did not fight in the Revolutionary War for my biscuits to be nibbled at by some little dog. So I took out my rifle and I killed him. Rest in peace, Fanny."
On a different note, how are your grandkids doing?
Well, they're doing all right. My eldest grandchild has told me that he is apparently a gay man and he plans to get gay married. And I told him to get gun married. Well, not really. I told him he can follow his heart, but I'm a bit upset. I don't really know what to think about it. Oh, say, can you see? Baby.
Bobby! Stop playing those violent video games!
Shut up, Mom!
I'm an officer. Tell me again why your son killed his mom?
Well, he was a good boy until he began playing those video games like Call of War and Pac-Man. And those games are evil, and they teach our children that having guns is not only okay to use them for fun, but it's good to have them and use them for fun. Because I have many guns, but I just use them for show. And he took them and used them for killing his mother.
Will never be able to use that gun again without these terrible memories.
So I hope that new gun control legislation passes.
Hear, hear.
Good idea.
I think so.
Well, there you have it, folks. Every American, not the terrorists, but every American knows that we should support the NRA and we should support guns. They're important for our liberty, for our honor. You just look cool. You bond with your family. The numbers are endless. Sadly, dark times have befallen this great nation. Obama, our president, is trying to take these beautiful weapons away. He wants to make it so we can't buy them, so we can't own them, so we can't shoot them. He wants to take our rights, and he wants to do this because he wants to shoot us all himself. I call you fellow Americans to stand with me, to stop this madness. Don't let our rights to own guns be taken away. And whatever you do, support the NRA. Most importantly, it says in the Bible that it is our constitutional duty and obligation to own an automatic gun. If you want to argue with me on this one, you got to take it up with Jesus, because it says loud and clear right here.
Granddaddy, is it time yet? Thank you, Granddaddy.
Sure thing, son. But don't thank me. Thank America.